you're coming up in the 80s. Like, who were the guys that you were looking at? You're like, that made you want to do this?
Jerry Seinfeld was a guy that I followed as an auditioner. I auditioned 5 times. One of them was with my brother Dennis. You guys know my brother Dennis.
Very funny guy.
Hilarious stand-up. So I auditioned like 3 times, and then one time I said to my brother, I said, why don't we try it as a comedy team?
Oh, no.
So we go to the comic strip to audition as a comedy team. We drew our number, and we followed one of the 3 headliners, and the guy's name was Jerry Seinfeld. Neither of us had ever seen him before. He went on stage and absolutely killed.
Wow.
And we were like, we're laughing, enjoying him. And then we were like looking at each other, holy shit, we got to follow this guy.
Yeah.
So they said, that's it.
Yeah.
Enjoy Jerry Seinfeld. Nice hand for Jerry Seinfeld. Now we have some auditioners coming up here. Brian Regan and Dennis Regan. We went on stage and completely died.
What was your first time going up as a team?
It was our first time going up as a team.
It's fucking hard.
Yeah, that's a different animal.
And I remember I had told Dennis, that because he was worried. He goes, how do we know when to get off stage? And I said, well, they're going to put a light up. A light means that it's time to wrap up.
Sure.
And basically the whole show, he just kept asking, when are they going to turn that light on?
Damn, that's never a good sign.
Right.
Shit. Well,
So-
did you converse with Jerry and go,
No,
tell me
not that
everything,
night.
you big Jew? What was it like?
Well, what was interesting is I remember watching him, and I was disillusioned because I'm thinking, well, if this guy isn't famous, what am I trying to get into? I'm trying to get into this comedy world.
Interesting.
This was like the best guy I'd ever seen as a comedian.
But he
Right.
had been on Carson at that point.
No.
Really?
Wow.
He did his first Carson like a week or 2 after we saw him.
Damn. So he's
So-
probably running that.
Yeah, so I remember like going, okay, the comedy thing is fair. This
Right.
guy's really good.
Right.
Now he's on the Tonight Show. If you're good enough, you
But
can make
also-
some success.
That was probably like early 80s. It was like 6 comics, 6 famous comedians. Was it Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Carlin, and Woody Allen, Cosby? I don't know. There weren't a ton of household name
Yeah, a
comedians.
third of them ended up becoming maybe rapists.
Yeah,
Not great.
Carlin. But yeah, so I think breaking in was tough back then. And you had what, like 3 avenues? You had Carson, you had HBO.
Right.
That's about it, man. Maybe a Letterman. I don't know.
So I worked there as a, dishwasher and busboy and the whole thing, and they would let me go on at the end of the night. So
Wow.
And was that Dennis's first time on stage?
that was Dennis's first time doing stand-up, and I think he was so thrown by how bad it went that he's like, I don't know if I want this in my life. So I continued auditioning by myself. And then I started making some progress. He was doing some other things. And then a couple years later, he decided to get back into it.
Damn. Wow. That's wild. So you just stuck with it
Yeah.
and moved to L.A.?
New York.
Oh, you moved to New York eventually.
The story I heard from Nick DiPaolo is that he moved from Boston to New York, and he just like packed his bags down, went to the Comedy Cellar, saw you on stage murdering, and was like, I might have to leave.
So you did it to him. You did the Seinfeld move to him. That's a good feeling.
That's a nice compliment.